What's up, Echo Squad? Today we are talking about Age of Magic and what to expect in the first half of Season 1. What you can also say Age of Magic for short is AoM, which you've probably seen in the graphic design that I made. This time, it won't just be me. Today we have Kenai.
Yay!
Kenai.
Yo, what's good, everyone? Kenai here. I'm the narrator for Age of Magic. You can also find me on my YouTube channel, Kenai YT.
That's right, Kenai will be asking me questions about what to expect in the first half of Season 1. Also, I will talk about how production is going.
I probably know the least in the cast and crew, so I can't wait to learn more.
So, without further ado, let's get into it.
Alright, first off, what made you come up with Age of Magic? Like, where did you get the whole idea anyway?
Well, I would just say the fascination of the idea of magic, and how it can go from magic tricks to spawning fire out of my hand. I've always wanted to be in a show since I was a small kid, and this time, I can actually do that.
Bro, that's awesome. Nice. Now, without spoiling too much, what can people expect in the first half of Season 1? Like, what's the main focus or theme?
Well, the main theme could be don't keep huge secrets from close ones, and especially the ones who can and will help, even going to any extent.
Dude, nice theme. And how's production been going so far? I know you've been doing a lot of editing and directing yourself.
Well, it is a bit stressful, but it'll all be worth it in the long run. I can't wait to share any trailers or clips later. But directing isn't too hard. I mean, I mainly just make up what works best when we get there at that specific time. And 3 of the shots in episode 1 at the beginning was not exactly my idea, but it looks really good, and I'm actually glad that we settled on that decision.
What would you say has been the hardest part of bringing Age of Magic to life so far?
Being honest, it's getting everyone on the same page and how to record. Which is also why we have delayed it a bit, so it's not entirely my fault for having everything so late in December.
That's fair. On the flip side, what's been your favorite part? Like, something that keeps you motivated, even when it gets stressful.
Recording, that's my favorite part. Every failed attempt is normally hilarious, especially when Hinjin's around. Hinjin's hilarious. You'll find that out once you watch episode 1, and normally gets better, except for episode 2. We can't reveal that one yet. But in one of the clips in episode 1, it took 21 attempts to get it right, and each time the actor of Hinjin had a different response to every failed attempt. It was tedious, but hilarious.
Bro. Okay, so for anyone who hasn't watched or heard of Age of Magic yet, how would you describe it?
This one's gonna be a bit of a long one, but, Age of Magic is an upcoming show that will premiere on YouTube. The main characters are Kuro and Hinjin. Kuro is determined to master the elements, fire, water, wind, and nature. Hinjin, his partner in chaos, brings a very different kind of power. Black spikes and sudden explosions that make him dangerous as he is unpredictable. The two couldn't be more different. One is stubborn and serious, the other a mischievous troublemaker. But together they form an unlikely team. As they train and grow stronger, they begin to realize that their powers aren't just for fun or competition. Every failure teaches them something. Every laugh hides a struggle. Every battle they face is slowly reveals that the world around them is shifting into something much larger than they've ever expected. The greatest test comes when a powerful villain appears. Someone who threatens not just their abilities, but their bond as friends. To stand against this enemy, they have to discover what it really means to fight, to trust, and to become heroes. This is a story more than just about magic. It's about friendship, identity, and the courage to rise when everything is stacked against you.
Dude, good job, by the way. I like that. Alright, now without spoiling too much, again, which character do you think fans are going to connect with the most in the first few episodes? Like, which character do you think is going to be the most relatable?
Now, put it simply, Hyunjin. But it really depends on the person. But especially in episode 2, if they like the chaos of Hyunjin, well, that's a different story. But episode 2, well, I can't really dive too much deep into that. But episode 2 is it's like the main episode that you have to watch. So I can't dive into much deeper without spoilers.
Awesome! This is already making me more hyped for Season 1. How do you think your writing holds up compared to major studios? Like, do you think you did a good job with it so far? Like, quality-wise? What do you think?
I feel like I've done a good job, but I'm still working on improving it. And every episode is progressively getting better at the writing and story-wise. But I don't compare myself to them, but one day, maybe.
Well, to be fair, you are just one person, a solo developer, and you're a teenager, so I think you're doing incredible so far. What's your favorite superpower and special effects? I've seen some clips of your editing. It's pretty good, and it looks somewhat exceptional.
Well, to be fair, I do edit by myself, but I ask others what they think, and then I change it if for any request that's actually noticeable, and boom, all nice. But my favorite visual to edit with is normally the fire. It's most difficult, but there's a whole bunch of them that I can use, and it's really cool. It just really depends on the wind situation, the background, everything. So it's really good to notice that.
Okay. So you're open to criticism in order to improve and good leadership skills. Alright, what is your greatest struggle?
My greatest struggle, I would say, is the hate I receive on this show. People want me to rush this show, but making it good takes a long time. Like video games and animation. I wrote something to keep me going through, so I'm gonna read it. The dreamers always look like fools to those who stop dreaming. They laugh because they don't understand. They tease because they can't imagine being brave enough to chase what they want the way I do. But one day, they're gonna see my name attached to something incredible. And they'll realize I wasn't crazy. I was committed. So I'm gonna keep going, even if it's hard. Even if it feels like no one believes in me. I'm building something special. And one day, this part of my story, the pain, the struggle, the loneliness, it's all going to be worth it. And it's going to be the most powerful part of my success story.
Bro, this is insanely relatable to small creators, especially people with great ambitions. Like me. Ordinary people think that anything that isn't ordinary is bad. That it is too different. I'm sorry you're going through this, but the hate just makes you stronger, and overall, the show as well. Okay, how much time have you invested in this project so far?
Well, I started gathering people and had the idea on this project on December 21st, 2024. Yes, I know it's been a long time because it's currently November 2025. And I remember this because that same day, the Doctor teaser trailer for Poppy Playtime released that same day too. And I literally got home and I was like, oh, cool. Y'all making a show too, so let's go ahead and do this. But I started the channel in February 2025, and I released the first trailer for Age of Magic the very next day.
That is interesting. I would have never guessed a game is how you remember your idea. So, when can we expect the first episode of Age of Magic?
In December. I can't give an exact release date because, well, we're not done with editing yet, so it depends. But it's closer than you expect. But I need all that time to edit and double check everything, and then make the thumbnail, captions on YouTube, and even put together trailers. It's very important not to skip a step, which you do not want to skip a step. because it can go from looking like a Marvel animation studio, not animation, but like, you know what I'm talking about, Marvel, and then going straight to like old Disney bad animation stuff like that alpha. Like Disney's using AI right now, so that's how they write stuff. That's what it sounds like. We're not using AI for anything, so it's important that we check everything, and that's a lot of hard work on one singular person. So
Good to know. Now, when will we be able to see a clip? Like the first minute or even more? I'm honestly pretty curious. And I think they are too.
well, I know I know that people have been waiting for this. Well, the first few minutes talks about the backstory of the powers and how it came up on Earth. And I will release that soon on YouTube once I finish editing that part, which is almost done. And this guy's narrating that part. Whoa! He's amazing, and thank you for this so much.
Nice. I can't wait. I will be narrating the part, like you said, and I'm really excited to see the video. I'm really excited to see the visuals.
Yeah, I can't wait to show everyone how much work we've been doing, because I really feel like this will all pay off one day. They're gonna. I don't think I'll start receiving any more hate. I was like, when's the show gonna come out? Can it release right now? Things take a long time, okay? So,
Yeah.
And we have another special guest, the cameraman.
Just here to tell y'all, it's difficult recording. It's very hard to keep the phone stable. And bye.
Words of inspiration.
Okay. Alright. So, I'm curious about the character design. Like, who, so far, do you think has the best character design? Like, who do you think looks the coolest? And how do you think Kuro's character design is coming along?
Alright, so I think all the character designs are going on pretty well. Especially for episode 1. Because that's the only one that's coming out soon. So that's the only one I can really reveal about, because I can't reveal topics about episode 2 or further yet. So, well, I can't really reveal the character designs there because I don't know what they are yet, because I don't make up the character designs. I tell the characters to go and make sure they have theirs selected. Just they give me like a general theme to go by, and like, okay, we can work with that depending on the episode. But in episode 1, I'm wearing a beige shirt with light gray pants. I'm wearing gray Hey Dudes. I believe white socks and this jacket too. And it's actually pretty cool. It was in my short about the powers in action. That was just a filter going on. We weren't actually recording during the sunset. That part was recorded around 5 p.m. So Hinjin's was mainly just like black clothes with fuzzy socks and yellow slippers, because during the first part of episode 1, which we had 2 hours to record, the actor of Hinjin was a little bit sick, and so that's why Hinjin's gonna wear some dark clothes, and it's also in the power reveal too. So if you want to see those, it's already on the channel. So it's on the YouTube short.
Dude, that's awesome, bro. Honestly, design is super important to making a character look cool and have the character's presence known in the show and when they're on screen. So that's really cool. Anyway, my next question is, for, like, quality-wise for the episodes, do you think it's going to be consistent throughout the entire series, or do you think it's going to get better? Do you think the quality is going to get better over time as you get more experience and recording, editing, all of that stuff, or do you think it's going to drop or stay consistent?
Okay, so I have a quick question for you. Is the quality about, like, the frames per second is, like, going to be in 4K, or are you talking about, like, the quality of, like, the visual effects, like, if they're going to be in 4K, or if they're just, like, good at all? Is that what you're asking?
I'm just basically talking about, like, the writing, the pacing, like, not necessarily like the FPS or like the actual technical quality, but basically, like the pacing, like the writing, like the just everything overall, like character development, the design, the entertainment value, not necessarily the FPS.
Okay, so now I get it. Now I get what you're saying. I thought about that, but I had to make sure first. Sorry for that. I'd say, I already said this before, the storyline does get better. Every episode has better writing. Because I started writing episode 1 roughly in December, I believe, of 2024. So it's been a while. And I've learned some new ways to write. I've gone over some other scripts on seeing how they're doing. We aren't using exact scripts, but I thought that it would be pretty important to improve. Also, the story is pretty balanced. We have a pretty good villain. The villain's motivation, pretty cool. I can't reveal anything really about the villain yet, but I have a feeling everyone will like the villain. Because good design, I wrote the villain really well, I really hope. Not so much cornball like you. But I would say the writing does get better. Frames per second is pretty good too. I think it's 4K 30 FPS. I might be able to boost it up to 60 FPS. And yeah, the story writing's good. Songwriting's good too. There's songs in Age of Magic. First song's in episode 2, except for the intro theme song, which I wrote myself. So all the songs I wrote myself. So songs wise are pretty good too. They help tell the story just a little bit quicker and help mainly a montage. You want me to go ahead and say the songs songs in which episode?
Sure.
Okay, so every episode we have the opening theme song, which is Walking on Time, which I've already revealed. And then episode 2, we have a 24-second song of... Basically, episode 2 is a huge story focused, but which is why we can't reveal way too much about it right now. I really hope it's going to be really good. This one's going to be pretty hard to edit though, but it's basically a song about how Kuro is trying to calm down Hinjin, and episode 3 is kind of there's a training montage in the song. It's a single song too, and once that episode releases, I'm gonna see if I can get that song on other platforms too, like Spotify, Apple Music, stuff like that. And song in episode 5 about I haven't really revealed anything about episode 5. And there's not one in episode 6. I was about to say, because I'm writing episode 6 right now. It's turning out pretty well. I'm halfway done writing it, and I just can't wait to share everything with everyone. I really hope this will turn out really well.
Okay, that's a lot to take in for me and everyone watching. And honestly, it makes sense because you're the director. You have a lot of information to share with all of us here. And my next question is, so for the setting, what do you think you're doing? Okay, so for the setting, is it all gonna be outside in the same place, or are you gonna have multiple settings throughout the series? Is it gonna be outside the entire time, or are you gonna have multiple different settings for everything?
To answer your question pretty quickly, it's gonna be mostly outside, and we actually have a remark about that, I believe, in episode 5. Yeah, there's a remark about that, by another character that we haven't fully revealed yet, but they will become part of them. They're one of the main characters, but they're also a side character. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Alright, good. So, come to pretty important in the story. I believe they get their own song. I believe episode 8 they have a song. Yeah, that's the plan right now. Episode 8 they get a song, and I actually had to redo it last night because I wanted to redo it because it didn't sound the best. No, it sounds way better. Anyways, that character was pretty important to the story, and she actually made a remark about that, saying, "We'll be at the park like usual," because the main location is the park, because that's where Hyunjin and Kuro go to meet up to practice, and there's a whole bunch of stuff around there, so it's pretty cool and pretty chill. But in episode 1, I decided to scrap the idea of getting rid of background characters. Like, there was a kid literally screaming cannonball and squirrel. And I decided to keep that in because it gives them more of the natural park look. Like, because there's, like, normally always a person or two at the park, other than just the main people that's just going there. So I thought to give it a more natural look. Even though I'm not a huge fan of it, I guess I'll accept it because that's part of life. So yeah, to answer your question, mostly at the park. What are you doing? Mostly at the park. There might be like 1 or 2 clips inside.
So for the background sound, like the kids in the background. Sorry. Are you gonna like change the audio for that? Like make it sound different? Like, you know, what major film studios do? Or are you just gonna leave it in its natural sound?
So far, I've tried everything I can to get rid of it. I've been so desperate to even go to ChatGPT to find. I've been that desperate, and I don't use AI. Anyways, but I've been desperate to like figure it out, but I just decided not to because I just can't do it. Like, that's way too much work just for 2 clips, and honestly, I feel like I should just leave it, and because most of the time it's overlapping with what the characters are saying, so I can't just get rid of the background sound. You understand that? And plus, like, no, like, background, like, music would, like, just, like, cover it up. You get what I'm saying now? Okay, good.
Okay, that's a lot, and it's good to know all that. Anyway, my next question is, for fight scenes, what fight scene camera angle techniques are you going to use? Are you going to use, like, just, like, a lot of shaking for the camera or stuff? Or are you going to have your own take on it, like your own unique way of filming fight scenes and making them look powerful, but also entertaining at the same time?
So that part is actually not up to me. It's up to the cameraman, and he's here again, so...
What was your question again?
So basically, how are you going to film the fight scenes? Are you going to do it like normally with the shaking camera, like back and forth following like the attacks, or are you going to have your own unique way of filming them?
Well, I'll probably do a bunch of shaking and maybe a bit of like close-ups to like a side swipe of each character, eyes or something like that. And I'll give my own little twist on it. Maybe we'll add some visual effects, but that's up to Kuro.
Thank you so much for that. And I think I couldn't really decide that because I'm not in charge of the angles. I'm just in charge of writing it because he's the cameraman, so he's in charge. So I really hope that clears it up for you. So here's a question for you. I know you have like your own little side show, I believe, or a short film, called Prevail, right? So I know that one thing that's pretty difficult for everything is just having the ability just to want to record. Have you ever had a time that you just don't want to record, but you still did it anyways?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's pretty relatable to pretty much every content creator. Pretty much everyone who does YouTube or just makes videos in general. Maybe it's not for YouTube. Maybe it's for just projects to share with their friends or whatever. It's really hard to find motivation when you're doing small projects like this. And I actually have friends who go through the same struggle. One of my animator friends, he has a hard time wanting to record to make animations, and I can relate with that because it takes a lot of time and effort to make animations, just like it takes a lot of time and effort for your show to edit it and compose it and write it and all of that, because you're doing everything, right? Same for animation, same for everything. And when I record, it takes a lot of effort because it's not just the recording part, you also have to edit it afterwards and stuff, and you know that better than anyone, right? So, it's definitely a personal struggle, but it's worth it anyway.
Good to know, because I'm just glad it's not just me. But no matter what, if I have a free chance to record Age of Magic with the whole group, then I'm like, let's just do this. And when we get there, I'm just like, let's go! We finally get to do this, even though I don't want to be here. I just want to be in my bed. Like, it makes sense. Like, sometimes people have lives that get in the way, and you have friends. And anyways, so that's, I know I talked about this briefly, but that's also why Age of Magic has been delayed a little bit. It's because it's really hard getting people outside to record when we're very busy with a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah.
Okay, I think I went over this before, but just to clarify, because I forgot exactly what your decision is for this, but for the introduction part, where I'm narrating it, I was wondering if you're going to add sound effects to it, or you just leave it as is. Maybe you want to leave my narration part in there and have no sound effects, I don't know, for immersion or whatever, but my question is, are you going to add sound effects or not?
Well, that might be a little bit difficult to... Well, not really. The first part of the opening narration takes place in space, and as I'm sure you're aware, there's no sound in space. Except just your voice just echoing through it. Well, it's not really echoing, it's just like narrating. But there's not really sound in space, so I'm not going to add sound effects. But when the comet like shoots beam to Earth, then I'll start adding sound effects. So I think that's all I really think I can provide, because I haven't added sound effects yet to that. Yeah, because I'm just working on finishing getting all the photos in, getting every visual clip in, because that takes a while too, so, which is why I'm grinding on that when I don't have a film part to record, because we still gotta go record another clip for episode 1. So, that's another reason why is it taking so long. Alright, Echo Squad, that's going to be the end of our podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know it was a pretty short podcast, but we got out as much information as we can share right now.
Yes, please like and subscribe. And check out my channel too. Link in description. Also, I hope you all have a good one.
And don't forget to check out Age of Magic when it comes out too. We have a whole bunch of work put in already, and just to make this dream a reality. So, anyways, have a great day or night or whatever time of day you're watching this, or have a great week or month, whatever you want to call it. And we'll see you next time. Peace out.